Welcome, friends and adventurers. I want to tell you about what important little thing you need to become to be a good dungeon master. And that is to become a good player first. You would want to try things yourself. It's simple logic. If you haven't experienced it, all theory crafting is not sufficient to really prepare you for real needs and logistics of being a player or being a dungeon master. And I say this, even though it's weird, because sometimes we dungeon masters fall into the situation where we can't get anybody to run for us for years or decades, and well, we should put even more energy into getting to play because we need it. We need it in a regular manner, but even more so, we need it specifically from time to time to calibrate our expectations and ideas against an actual player that we can actually read fully, and that's only when you do it yourself. So, to be a great dungeon master, you need to be a good player, which does require some good playing first. In a decent campaign under a decent dungeon master, even if it's a one-shot, but it needs some good environment for role-playing, because you want to test your role-playing against your ideas. You want to do your best playing, your best role-playing, so that you see how does that work versus your ideas of dungeon mastery. In that case, you will get a mirror to reflect upon. You'll get to see what you're doing. You won't be going and running blind. However, interestingly enough, you do not have to specifically be a player first to be a dungeon master afterwards. You can be the dungeon master first and then be the player sometime later. As soon as possible, granted, but still logical. Because, interestingly again, when preparing for the first time becoming a role player, whether it's for becoming a dungeon master or becoming a player, if you're serious, it is sort of always a vague yet complex idea that you need to wrap your mind around. So both halves are, in a way, equally mysterious at first. Then, only after experience, it becomes easier to be a player than to be a dungeon master. Dungeon master remains being a difficult call. Being a player, whilst challenging and certainly an artistic prospect, it's something that becomes much less burdening or intimidating with time than being a dungeon master. At least in my experience. So that is what you need to become to be a good dungeon master. Be a good player. Be a good player and try yourself out. As well as your methods, your ideas, your system, everything. For if you cannot make a character you want, your system is not supporting you. If you cannot roleplay what you want, something is not supporting you. Maybe the system, if it's mechanical difficulty, but maybe it's the setting or the DM, and DM due to reasons, and reasons you would know. So this is how you experiment on yourself, simply enough. So, adventurer, if you thought this was unique, maybe you can spare me a click and I could see you here next or even perhaps every week, because there's always more. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments if you also wish to put them there. Until next time, I'm M, and welcome to the DM table.